Stories.
And good morning. It is 23 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, Patrick Smith back with us. Good morning, Patrick.
Hello, how are you today?
Doing well.
Good.
And another man of many hats. We were just talking about
Yeah.
Before we talk soccer and scouting here, I do want to remind folks, I've done it a couple times, but I'll do it once again since don't forget tonight, actually, both of us are also involved in this.
Right.
Leadership Roswell Alumni Association is hosting their municipal candidate forum. It's going to be tonight. It officially gets underway at 6 p.m. at the Pueblo Auditorium, which is at the RASD main admin building.
Right.
5:30 is when candidates are allowed to come in, set up tables, and pass out literature, answer questions, talk to you, the people. So if you'd like to get there at 5:30 to talk to some of the candidates, maybe ask a few questions that we won't get a chance to ask, or something you want to know specific that we may or may not cover during the forum, you can talk to them. And then at 6 o'clock, we're going to have the 5 city council races. 4 of them are contested. There's going to be one, Angel Moore, who's a Ward 5 incumbent.
Right.
I believe she will be there tonight to just talk for a couple minutes, but she's the only unopposed race there. So we'll have those 5 races, and then the mayoral race after all that. So we got a lot to cover tonight, and a lot to get you up to date on and informed. It's going to be great. The Rick Kraft, the question committee, all the folks have done an amazing job of doing that setup. I think, were you part of the question group?
Yep.
Very good. So him and a couple others know the questions, and that's it right now. But it's going to be a great event. Now, we'd love to get you to come out there, be a part, that we can see, feel, and experience everything firsthand. But if you're not available, busy, we will be carrying it here on the radio, 106.5, beginning at 6 p.m. I'll be the guy that brings you in and out of that. And then we'll also be carrying it on live streaming video and later on-demand video at ksvptv.com. You go there, you're going to see our different channels, like the Mornings of Mike Winters, the Good Morning Artesia, Coyote, all those channels. You're going to see one, if it's not up there now, it will be pretty soon, one for the Municipal Candidate Forum. You click on that, it'll take you right to the video, and then after the event, you can go there too. So if you can watch it there, but if you can, come out tonight, sit, watch it, or at least stay through the races that you're going to vote in.
Right.
And then you can go home and rewatch or catch any parts you missed or anything at your leisure. But if you are planning to vote in the upcoming municipal election, which, by the way, early voting starts tomorrow, I ask one thing of you and one thing only: vote informed. I don't care who you vote for, but have a good reason for voting for that person. And if you do that, I got no beef with you.
Right.
Very good. All right, now let's get on to the other things here. You want to talk soccer first?
Yeah, let's talk Roswell Youth Soccer. I'm part of the board. I'm the vice president, and so I told him I've got a connection. I've got an in with the guy on the radio. So he said, yeah, go talk on the radio. Soccer's starting pretty quick.
Okay.
We've had registrations open since the end of last season.
Okay.
But it will end in a few weekends.
Okay.
So February 13th is the last day for youth registration.
So this is the procrastinator's warning. If you wanted to have your youth play some soccer here in the spring, your point of no return is coming up here in February. Let's get her done here the next couple days here.
Right. And if you want to sign up, obviously we've got our links from our Facebook page, and we've got our own website. Let's see, it's roswellsoccer.org.
Okay.
And you can find us on Facebook as Roswell Youth Soccer Association, RYSA. Facebook would do the work for you.
Okay. Do you know the age groups that they can?
I think we have under 4 through 13 and under.
Okay.
Yeah. So and then we also have some competitive division, and we're looking to bring some new things back here this season.
Okay.
One of those things is we have a lot of support that we've just approved from the board to be invested into our coaches.
Okay.
We really want volunteer coaches.
Well, that's youth sports is a mentor thing. You know, it's there, especially the 4 and 5-year-old.
Yep.
They're coming on the field like, what's a soccer ball? You know what I mean? And so that's it, and so you need those coaches that they're almost teaching life lessons as much as they're teaching soccer skills.
Right.
You know. So yeah, that's great that you guys are turning investing back into that side of it.
Yeah. So our board talked about it, and we always have struggles, I guess, when it comes down to the last days to find coaches. But we're really doing better over the last couple of seasons of getting those coaches to continue. So our retention.
Cool.
But we're investing a bit more this year into training and into kind of gear support at the team level. And so we want to just make sure that our coaches have everything that they need, because there are a lot of coaches that sign up because we ask them to, that have never coached before.
Gotcha.
Or have never played before.
Sure.
Right? They're doing it for their kids, which is wonderful.
That's a great thing, but let's beef them up with
We got to support them,
Yeah,
right? So
absolutely. Let's
we've
give
got
the
some
tools they
coaches.
need to do it.
Yeah, we've got some coaches training coming up March 8th, I
Okay.
believe. Yep, March 8th. And that will be some in-person training with some drills, some strategy, the laws of the game.
Gotcha.
And then also how to support the kids.
Okay.
Because it's not just about playing soccer. It's like you said, it's about mentoring and teaching the kids how to deal with a loss or deal with a win
Yeah, or
appropriately.
or not making the play,
That's
or
right.
making the play,
Right.
and how to handle both of those.
Right. Right.
And be a good sport on and off the field, and those kind of things.
Yeah. So we're going to put a lot more energy and investment into our coaches this year, which is very important because they're the other audience into our league. It's not
Absolutely.
just the kids, the
Sure.
players. But so our next deadlines are, so the season starts March 26th.
Okay.
And so after coaches are recruited and supported and trained, because we've got some online trainings that they have to go through so that we know that they're understanding youth protection policies and they know how to coach, they know how to think about the safety of the kids on the field, that type of thing. And then so we start in late March.
Okay.
But we are also in need of some refs. Now, most of our refs come from the high school aged youth.
Okay.
And so they're kids, probably in their first or second kind of job, earning a few bucks.
Sure. So they're learning the workforce skills themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
But we're going to have some ref training as well, and that's to be determined on a date. But pardon me.
And let's be honest, they're probably the age group that has the most energy that can keep with those kids on the soccer field.
Yeah. So many of our refs kind of know because they've played the game, but now they're learning a different perspective of refereeing. So they learn the rules a little bit more about the game management and how to handle parents and coaches.
Absolutely. Tempers and things like that.
Yeah, so
sometimes happen. Yeah.
It's important for our players and our coaches and adults to know that some of our refs are still high school kids.
Sure.
Right. This is their first opportunity of leading and showing their responsibility.
So you should treat them, like you treat people you're supposed to, like your mom and dad taught you how to treat people.
Right. But it's a great opportunity for those youth that have come through our program earlier to kind of give back and to learn a little bit more about the game.
Yeah.
So we're really excited about that. We also have scholarships available. We have some donor funded scholarships, more than we've had in previous years, because we want to make sure that every kid gets the opportunity to play.
Yeah.
So we've got scholarships for registrations and for gear.
Okay.
So a lot of families don't know what gear to get, what cleats are appropriate.
Yeah, the
right?
shin pads.
The shin guards,
Yeah.
right? And so they may not even have a soccer ball at home. And so we've got the support to find that for that family.
And parents, I went into hockey. Soccer's way cheaper than hockey.
It is.
I'm telling you right now. A lot more than shin pads and a soccer ball in hockey.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, it's a more expensive sport.
Yeah, you can keep all your stuff in a soccer bag that's much smaller than the shins of the smallest player.
Yeah.
But in hockey, the bag is huge.
Yeah, it's usually big as you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's a fun sport. I did play soccer as a youth for a couple of years there myself, growing as a kid. But I'm kind of curious. Like you said, investing and doing this stuff with the coaches, but there's probably a kind of a unique challenge for the coaches this year due to COVID, because we've been shut down for the last couple of years. Kids that are like 6, 7, 8 that may have started doing soccer when they were 4 and 5 may not have gotten those opportunities because of COVID. So I'm thinking the learning curve is going to be a little bit more for even some of the older kids because they got less exposure to do learning some of the fundamentals that they would have learned a year or two ago, but COVID kind of prevented that from happening.
Yeah, we along with other organizations, youth and or otherwise, we got hit in the teeth because we had to cancel a couple of seasons.
Sure.
But we played last fall.
Good.
And we had a ton of kids playing last fall.
Good. So that was kind of that season for you guys.
We had
learning curve.
We had to follow some rules, obviously, to get out on the field. But the kids played. The coaches appreciated our honesty about what we needed to do to get the kids out there.
Sure.
The parents appreciated that as well. I mean, there's a little bit of struggle, but the kids got out there and played.
But if everyone knows the rules and everyone can, know the same ones, it does make it a lot easier for everyone to comply. So,
we had over 700 and I think 50 kids play soccer in the fall. And so we are expecting to get a little bit closer to that. Spring is a little lower in our numbers because other sports pick up.
More competition. Yeah,
but we're expecting probably in the 650, 700 range.
Okay.
But we are very super excited for soccer. And at the end of the season, we're looking at having a tournament.
Okay.
Whereas we've had an all-star game before for our older youth, our older boys and girls clubs.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're looking at having a play-in tournament for the rest of the league.
Okay.
And so we're trying to figure out how to structure that, how to get that back rolling, because that gives an opportunity for the kids to play a little bit more competitive,
sure,
and show off those skills that they've been learning all season.
Absolutely, yeah. When anytime you're learning a game and things, you want to have goals for them to achieve, and things like that. And yes, we want to learn the fundamentals, and that's the important thing. But also the important part of sports is learning to work as a team to achieve a goal together, and so that creates that opportunity for these teams to do that.
Right.
And that's, I love that, because I know at the youth level we don't want to make things competitive to what we see on, say, Sunday afternoon at an NFL football game.
Right.
However, we also want to start the training and start the formality of, hey, and saying, these are some of these skill sets that the desire, the heart, the things that it takes for you to achieve whatever goals you want to do in life. You're learning that now through a game we call soccer.
Right.
And that's, so you want some of that competitiveness at that level, because that's a learning tool.
Right.
And that, at the end of the day, are they going to remember where they won the soccer championship when they're 7 years old? Probably not.
Probably not, yeah.
But the skill sets they learn and stuff are going to be the next Eagle Scouts, or the first starting off there, and next thing you know, they're going on to do various careers and positions. Maybe it's law enforcement, whatever it is. The skill sets that they're learning at that team level are going to translate to whatever dreams or goals they pursue after soccer and all that. So please understand that. I know it's the world we live in with youth sports and how people think and how we should do it. There's a lot of varying opinions right now, and there's a method to the madness. Trust me, there really is, and that's why youth sports are so great, because not so much that the fact that they get to compete for a championship, but the fact that they're getting out, they're learning how to deal with people that are different than them sometimes, and in a case like youth sports, that's the first opportunity to get to do that stuff. Where there's not. Like even in a classroom, they're really kind of limited on what they can say and do, because there's a curriculum and a format they got to follow, and so they can't just sit and converse, in an open setting as much as they would on a soccer field. So really, that to me that gives them those opportunities that they never would have had anywhere else, and that's really what playing sports and soccer or any youth sports, really, that's what it's all about. So please think about that stuff too when you're signing up for kids for soccer. If they're kind of, obviously if kids are really abrasive on this, maybe find something else that interests them. But if it's like, well, it's okay to do the parental nudge a little bit and be like, all right, we'll get you out of your comfort zone a little bit here and get you to playing. And you might, and if they don't like it, they don't like it. But you got to throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks with kids sometimes.
That's right. Oh, yeah, exactly. Because there's a lot of opportunities, but anymore, a lot of families are depending on these, magical little boxes, and it's unfortunate, but we're an opportunity to scouts and soccer and baseball and Girl Scout, whatever,
absolutely,
to get the kids out and off the screen,
absolutely,
and interacting with people.
Yeah, well, and if you think about it, all parents. All right, this is going to be old guy talk right now.
Yeah.
But old guy talk is, man, these kids today, all I see them is walk around the phones and everything. And you know what? There is a generation of people that I think cannot have a in-person conversation that doesn't come across a little awkward because they don't have enough experience doing it. And these are people that are in their 20s now and they don't have enough experience. And so that's a problem. And you know how you fix it? Soccer, scouting, Girl Scout, whatever it is.
Get them out.
Get them out in group settings. Make them go do things that don't involve pushing a button. Make them do things that requires them to look at other people and talk to other people.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny how many kids I've worked with, or, my own sons who I don't want to play this year. I don't
Yeah.
want to play this season. But then we sign him up, we get him to the practice, and he's having a blast.
Yeah.
Right? They don't want to because then they have to get out from the screen. They have to get out from the PlayStation. But as soon as they get there, they're having a blast.
Yeah.
They're having a ton of fun.
And I hate to say this, but the COVID world has cemented that
Oh, yeah.
mentality.
Oh, yeah.
And so we've got to really break through that concrete to get that back out there because for the sake of humanity, we can't live behind boxes our whole life. We're just not built that way. That's not how we're built, you know. And so please expose them. If it's not soccer, then something. Get them into something here.
Yeah.
But I'd say, let's start with soccer here. The weather's going to be nice. It's the spring. It's going to be probably, by March, it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be, what's the best way to spend a Saturday morning and hanging out in the, beautiful sunshine watching a kid play soccer, man?
That's right.
That's a fun thing. So come out and participate.
Yeah, we're excited.
Yeah, and like you said, if you're wanting to want to get more involved, this is a great opportunity. Like you said, you've already got folks that don't have soccer experience. If you have a desire to help your kids and help these kids mentor in soccer here, like you said, we've got training, we got stuff that will get you the tools there to help you do that part. But we just need more people to say, yes, I want to do that.
Exactly.
And if there's interested in becoming a referee here, like you said, typically those are probably our high school players, our high school kids that are of that age. But anybody that's willing to be a ref that's physically able to do it, love to have you do that as
We've
well.
got some higher level trained refs that typically do kind of the high school or middle school games.
Sure.
And they do some of the other rec leagues.
Gotcha.
But we do have a lot of our refs being the high school aged kids.
Sure.
But they get the training of the laws of the game and how to coach, how to ref, that type of stuff.
Well, it's farm league like everything else. If you're going to start at the beginning level, which really Roswell Youth Soccer is, that's the first time some of these youth will be exposed to the sport of soccer. That also works on the way down too. Your coaches, like you said, they're brand new to the game too. They're learning as well, and then same with the people officiating it. If they're learning it, and who knows, these kids might be the ones that are coaching your high school games and stuff down the road. And we've all heard, especially over COVID here, the world of officiating across the country at every level of sport is becoming harder and harder to get, and college and them can pay them big bucks. High school and youth leagues and everything else cannot. So the only way you dangle that carrot is to make it something worthwhile. And we as a community got to get back to doing that. And I get competition. I get you want to go through walls for your kids. I understand every one of those mindsets, but that's where being a human is. We got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them.
That's right.
And that's called being an adult. And that's where we gotta learn how to deal with each other and work, even if we don't necessarily agree on some things.
Right.
It's something as simple as a call in a soccer game.
Yep. So registration ends, like I said, on the 13th, but on our website, roswellsoccer.org, we've got a great tutorial about how to sign up for our registration because over the last couple of seasons we've moved from one program to another. But one of our board members did a fantastic job in getting this video tutorial set up for the parents to sign up. So that there should be kind of no questions. If there are, though, we've got a very engaged board. You can email rysa@roswellsoccer.org. And either the president or myself or someone who can reach out and say, what can we do to help? We'll take care of it.
Very good. This is just to ask this question because I have a scouting background and I'm familiar with these kind of things. But for coaches and things, do you guys require that they have a child participating? Or because I know obviously we want protections for the kids and things, and sometimes for organizations that's a red flag when you have someone wanting to get involved in youth and they don't have youth in the thing. But is there any issues there, any of that
No,
stuff,
because our coaches go through trainings. They go through safe sport training about how to understand the game, how to keep the kids safe on the field. They also go through concussion protocol training so they know what to look out for.
Very
but
good.
then they also go through a background check, right? And so they go through that youth protection guidelines that's similar to the Scouts in that sense. But you do not have to have a child in the program to coach.
So if you're using this as maybe your own coaching, like, hey, I want to be a high school coach someday. Maybe maybe you're a college kid that's want to start coaching. Maybe let's all right, let's get you some youth
Right.
soccer kids. And,
Right.
and you're starting at ground one with kids
Right.
that are just learning what soccer is.
Yep.
And,
And we'll go through a little bit of a vetting process for our coaches to make sure that they get all this stuff taken care of
Right.
and they get their training. So it's not just someone off of the street. We want to protect our coaches and we want to protect our kids, obviously.
You wanted
So-
a positive experience for every single
Exactly.
person that participates.
Yep.
Very good. So again, give out that website one more time to sign up.
RoswellSoccer.org.
Okay.
And there are tutorials about how to sign up. And there's also our RYSA at RoswellSoccer.org is our email address.
Okay.
And our board members will see that and they'll reach out to you and let you know what we need to do to help you.
Okay. Do you guys have a RYSA Facebook page or something?
We do.
Too? Okay.
Yep. Just go into Facebook and Roswell Youth Soccer and it'll bring
Very
it up.
good. And I'm sure if you have any questions about signups, you shoot a message to that, and someone
Yes.
will be happy
Yep.
to find that information or give you that information.
Yes, sir.
Too. Very good. But yeah, let's sign them up. But don't forget, the deadline's coming up here February 13th.
February 13th. Yep.
13th is the last day. Today's the 1st, by the way.
Yes.
We're not in January anymore. Just wanna
January
remind you.
felt like a long month, but wow, it's over like that.
Yeah,
You know?
and February is a short month, so 28 days
Yeah.
and we're done. So, but yeah, so you've got basically a little less than 2 weeks to get her
Yep.
done here. So get it signed up. Maybe talk with your family here tonight, and then get it done this week.
Yep.
While we got you here, let's talk a little scouting stuff. That's his other hat he wears quite
Yeah.
prominently as well. What's going on in the world of scouting here in the Conquistador Council in Roswell?
So we, we're going through our renewal process right now for our scouts, for our units, individual units, and they're starting to meet back after the semester has started back in the second semester here. So Cub Scouts, Scouts BSA, and our exploring units are meeting back in session.
Okay.
We are ramping up to get ready for our membership planning conference.
Okay.
So that we know how we're going to recruit more families throughout the year. We're also looking at building out our community promotion plans so that you and I can chat a little bit more and we can go into the community with the newspaper or with other activities and events to promote scouting.
Okay.
Some of those activities will include this year, we're looking to do a fun shoot for some of those outdoor enthusiasts.
Cool.
In which this is an indirect opportunity to promote scouting.
Yeah.
And that'll be likely in the third quarter.
Okay.
We're also going to we're working to plan and promote an adult Pinewood Derby.
Oh, nice.
In which we identify and invite adults to get a little car.
I love this.
And the rules may be a little changed so that they
Okay.
can have some fun.
All right.
Because the rules in District Pinewood Derby for the kids, it can't be more than 5 ounces.
5 ounces is if I remember right, if you literally put because they give you a kit that's a block of wood, 4 wheels and 4 nails.
Yep.
And if you nailed the wheels to the thing with the slots there and just stuck it on the track, that's 5 ounces. You cannot have a car weigh more of that. So obviously you're going to be cutting and shaving to make it look cool.
Right.
But then they add weight to get it
Right.
right back to that 5 ounces again. So
Yep.
and the devil's in the details and the engineering on that.
Yeah.
to make
Now,
the
and I've
fastest
seen
car.
some cars that have an external propulsion.
Oh.
Right. And of course, that's an adult's car, and he's
Yeah.
just kind of showing off for the kids.
Yeah.
But it gets down the track in like a second and a half.
Wow.
And so that's not allowed in
Okay.
Cub Scout Pinewood Derbies,
But
right?
the adults you're going to let.
It could be. We're still finagling with the details,
Or
but
maybe you have a category, like you have
That's
like
right.
straight up racing, but then you have like the Shapes Balloons Day or something.
yeah. So
And it's
in
for
our
cars,
in our
self-propelled.
district and council Pinewood Derbies, where everybody's invited,
Yeah.
we would like to have the kids to participate and the adults to participate, right? The siblings and the adults. So
Yeah.
we have a category called the Outlaws.
Okay.
Where you're breaking a rule somewhere somehow,
right.
right? It could be longer, it could be short, the weight, whatever. And so
So you get one rule to break, but it's only the one.
could be
Okay.
So we're
kinda
trying
like that,
We're
though.
trying to figure that out.
Because that
right
adds
now.
another wrinkle. I
Yeah.
kind of like that.
And so we're gonna bring this out to the community to have some adults play, right? And so we're looking to bring some opportunity to the adults and to families who are not in scouting to know that scouting is still a thing. That we are still in the community. We're still shaping the minds and working with kids
Sure.
in character development. And those are some of our indirect methods that we're trying to do that.
Good deal. I know it's February now, but how's everything looking for summer camp this summer?
So we have a wonderful camp director who is
Yeah.
planning a great experience. We're stepping a little bit outside of what we've done before with some of that camping experience. we've got the merit badges, but we're also thinking about having some high adventure activities there. We are very blessed to have another camping property very close to the Sacramento Mountains with our Wahinipe camp.
Okay.
And so we're trying to connect those two.
Okay.
With some high adventure. So it's not just a merit badge factory, because we're not in the business of that. We're in the business of high adventure and youth activities and getting those kids outside of the typical.
Yeah. Well, and that's scouting, and that's always the case,
Right.
Because scouting is what you make of it. It really is. It always, if you, and so you can take it in that direction. And yes, there are some people, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but you tend to miss some of the best parts of scouting by doing it this way. You got people that are very goal oriented. They're like, okay, what's the requirements for the rank of star first class on the way up? And they want their children to follow that ladder and do it as fast as possible. Part of that is earning merit badges, which are and various other requirements to get their ranks all the way up through Eagle. So one of the big things that typically, especially for younger, your first couple year scouters and Boy Scouts, is to go to what we call like a merit badge camp. And it would be, they come and they go to the camp for a week and they pick 2, 3, 4, depending on their workload and schedule, merit badges they're going to work on for the week. Maybe it's usually things that you can't really do at home per se. Right.
So
like swimming or life saving or canoeing or first aid, things that are better served in a camping environment. They do a lot of that stuff. However, some people get so wrapped up in the fact, all right, are you doing everything to get the requirements done in this merit badge, that they stop and don't smell the roses. They don't say, you know what, we're in the mountains. And we've got the beauty. Look, there's nature right over there. Stop and enjoy this, and stop, worrying about, did you get all the requirements done in your knot tying? It's which you got to find that balance. And that's where, and I think that's what you guys are trying to offer and say, look, smell the roses here. We're in the mountains here in the Sacramento Mountains. This is beautiful. How often do you get to hang out here with very little cell reception and just be a part of the outdoors here and come and go camping or go stick your feet in the creek? That's part of life, and sometimes, and that scouting brings all that if you let it. And that's where you're kind of going with that.
So our camp has had for a number of years, and we're going to continue to have the same kind of awesome opportunities in fishing and in horsemanship and in rock climbing, in shotgun shooting, rifle shooting. We've got some awesome shooting ranges.
Good deal.
But then we're also bringing in some merit badges that you would not think about in a mountain camp.
Okay.
Like robotics.
Oh, some little high-tech stuff. STEM related.
We also, in the past, and I think we're working on this year to have some welding.
Okay.
And so we're working on doing some very untraditional summer camp merit badges.
Outside the box stuff.
Outside the box, because we want the kids to keep coming back after they're done doing first aid and basketry.
A couple years ago, I got a chance to go back. I worked at a place called Goshen Scout Camps in Virginia for several years when I was young scouting, and I worked at one of the camp. It was a multi-camp. It was so big. So I worked at Camp Olmsted, which was their dining hall camp and everything. I worked there for 4 or 5 years. But I went back to visit maybe 4 or 5 years ago just to see the camp and everything, and it looked the same, but it looked different. But one of the things is they added a technology building out there, and I'm like,
we've got them too.
You know what our technology was? There was a payphone that was in the camp director's office, and that was the only technology. Oh, we had lights in those buildings. And that was it. That was technology. Now we're doing computers. We're doing, like you said, high-tech stuff in the woods now. And that's pretty cool, too. So it really is, because I love that, because you almost need that as maybe the gateway to get some of these kids into the outdoors. You know what I mean? Like, well, we're doing robotics and stuff. Okay, cool, high-tech stuff. But then, there are going to be people that gravitate toward that, probably generally don't gravitate towards, like, sitting around campfire. You know what I mean? That's not in their fun activities. Now they get to do some of that, and maybe some of that will rub off on them, too. And it's we're doing high-tech here stuff, but I still get to go and roast marshmallows on a campfire, or go get to go hike in the woods and go hike to a nature trail to go see something cool. That the things that we think scouting is kind of just part of the package. So I love that. That's all. So please reach out. There's local troops all over here. If you have trouble finding one, get on Facebook and just say Boy Scouts Roswell. There'll be plenty of things. You can talk to the Conquistador Council if you're looking for a troop near you. Don't forget, it's not just for boys anymore. Females, we have troops for troops for females.
Yeah, we've got
right
a few
now.
troops around the council for girls. Yep.
Good deal. So it's a different world. Come and be part. It's the new generation of scouting, where the traditions we all know and love with scouting, the things we represent, being prepared, the 12 points of the Scout Law,
Right.
all the things we instill into the young men. We still doing today with the boys and girls, just in a more modern way, I guess you could say. So please come be a part of it. Come scouting's. I will always speak well of scouting, because I owe my really many experiences I've had and who I am as an adult today to scouting, and I will always speak that, because I went to Australia. Now most scouts don't get chances. Like, I'm not going to lie, I was that's above and beyond, but I would have never got to do that. I mean, I got to meet kids, and I got to meet kids from Japan and talk to scouts in Japan and trade uniforms with them. And I mean, how many times you get to do cool things like that? And I know that may not seem so special now, but this was also in a world before the internet. You know what I mean? There wasn't like you could just, so it was really a unique experience to meet kids from different cultures and thinking, oh my goodness, they have Boy Scouts in Australia just like they do here, and it's almost the same thing, kind of, sort of. You know what I mean? And you just, we didn't have the internet. You learned all that stuff, and scouting gave me those opportunities. And going out of my comfort zone, I'm scared of heights, but you know what? I've rappelled, I've rock climbed, I've done lumberjack pole climbing. I would never do these things on my own, and I probably wouldn't today, but I did them, and I overcame that, and scouting got me into a lot. And I mean, obviously, I'm an Eagle Scout, so I earned Eagle, and I got stripe in the military, so there was physical benefits too. But I mean, just who I am, who I think, and how I interact with people, I owe my parents a bunch, but scouting very much a part of it too.
You know, this is kind of a call for not just for scouting for soccer, but for families to realize there's more besides the screen. You know, this digital communication age, there's a lot of opportunities for kids to have a lot of fun and do some activities, but they're missing out on the real life experience, interacting with people, going and doing these trips and seeing the beautiful world that's around them. Because in southeast New Mexico, some people think that down here in Roswell, we're just a desert with some aliens, but we've got some beautiful scenery. And we're not that far from even more scenery.
Oh, yeah. We got a lot of unique things. And trust me, as someone who's not native to Roswell and growing up in the East Coast and everything, and then coming here, there's a lot of treasures that we take for granted.
Oh, yes.
It's not just your fault. Everyone does it locally. I grew up in D.C. There's people that never spent time at the Lincoln Memorial or any of those things, or could care less about it, and they've lived 5 miles from it their whole life. It's a universal thing. It's not. But just saying, check out your backyard sometime. Again, if you have any questions about scouting, again, reach out online. What's do you have the number for the headquarters here in town?
Our phone number is 575-622-3461.
Okay.
Or you can always drop me an email, and my email is patrick.smith@scouting.org.
Very good.
You can find us on Facebook. We've got our own website, so we're around. We're doing stuff.
He's got 2 very easy to spell names.
That's
Patrick
right.
and Smith. Bale and Ale is really.
Thank you, Mom and Dad. Right?
Well, thanks, Patrick. Appreciate it. I'll see you tonight here.
Yeah, we've got the scouts doing our flag ceremony this evening.
That's right.
So
Come
we'll
out
be
and see
there.
them. Come out when you see them tonight. Get there at 6 o'clock. They're gonna make our ceremony official.
That's right.
So as they do, part of the patriotism of the country and getting involved. There's 12 points. They're covered in there.
Yep.
Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you.
All right. It is 9.